Hi everybody! Well, winter is here and I thought it'd be really fun to do some winter science projects with ingredients found in your own home. The first one we're going to do is fluffy snow slime. And this one looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'll show you what you need in order to make it, okay? So the first thing you need is just some Elmer's school glue, and the school glue, the washable school glue works the best. You need some shaving cream. I bet you have some shaving cream sitting around the house somewhere. And this is the fluffy stuff, kind of like the stuff that's kind of airy inside. There's saline solution, like that, and just a little bit of baking soda, okay? So for this recipe, we're gonna take our school glue, and this is just half a cup of school glue, and we're gonna dump it in our great big bowl here. Can you see it? Kind of fun, huh? All right, we'll dump that all out. And then we're gonna mix in our shaving cream. So this is gonna be a fun part. And I'm just gonna use my hands. You don't even need a spoon. Just use your hands, put it in there, and you're gonna mix those two things together like that. Okay. Now you're just gonna put in, can you see it? You're just gonna put in a half a teaspoon of baking soda. So just about that much, not very much. You can sprinkle that on top like this. Okay, so we're gonna mix this all together like that. Make sure you keep your shaving cream nice and fluffy. Don't squeeze it or pat it down quite yet. Then I'm just gonna take 1 tablespoon of your saline solution. Now this is your activator. This is what causes the slime to all come together. So you're gonna put that on, and we're gonna start mixing it up. And if you need more, you can always add a little bit more, but we're gonna we added it in, we're just gonna start mixing it here. And it should start to feel a little bit like slime as you go, okay? See how it's kind of coming together and kind of sticking together? Okay, like this. All right, now the secret with slime is that the more you knead it, the more you play with it, the better it gets. So I'm just gonna sit here and keep stirring it with my fingers until it starts to come together. And here, look at this. Does it kind of look like snow? Isn't that cool? Now, if it wasn't sticky like this, if it wasn't slimy, they say you can just add a little bit more of that saline solution and it'll get more and more sticky as you go. But if you add too much, then you're gonna have slime that's really, really hard and it won't be fluffy like this. Mine still is a little bit sticky, so I might just add a little touch more of this. We'll see if we get a really sticky slime. Oof, my hands are slippery. All right, so just add a couple more drops of that saline solution. Okay. There, it's not even hardly sticking to my hand anymore. Okay, watch this. Okay, can you guys see it? Pretty cool, huh? And it's really soft. Really soft. It almost feels like cotton candy or something like that. And it stretches really easily. And then you can add in things like glitter. You could add in confetti. You could add in some colored beads if you wanted to make it some colors in there and do all kinds of stuff with it. And like I said, the more you play with it, the better and better it gets. There you go. And that is the fluffy slime. Okay, everybody, are you ready for our second project? This one is called Snowstorm in a Jar. And I thought this would be fun. If we don't have snow outside, or if it's not snowing, you could make your own snowstorm right in your kitchen. So for this one, you just need a jar, and you can use whatever kind of jar you want as long as it's clear. I have a great big canning jar here, but you could use like a glass vase or something like that. And then maybe just fill it not quite half with water. I put about 2 cups of water in this one, okay? Then you want to just add a little bit of paint, and you don't need much. This is a big thing of paint, but we just need about a teaspoon, okay? So I'm just gonna take this paint and I'm just gonna add just a little bit to our jar like that. That's probably about couple teaspoons, but that's okay. And then you stir it up. Can you see it mixing in there? Mixing all up. Our water's getting more and more blue. Yeah, that looks pretty good. You can still see some of the paint globs, but that's okay. All right. Okay, so then we have some blue water. Now on top of that, you're gonna add some glitter. If you want, you don't have to. But I have this glitter that I think kind of looks like snow. It's kind of white and sparkly. So we'll add some of that to the top. And then maybe just a little bit of blue for some fun, okay? All right, so on top of all of this, we just have the water and the glitter right now and the paint. We're gonna add baby oil. And you can use vegetable oil or baby oil. Baby oil just is a little more clearer in the jar, but you can use vegetable oil too, because vegetable oil will also work with this, okay? And then you're gonna need some Alka Seltzer tablets. If you don't know what these are, ask your parents. Every parent at some point needs an Alka Seltzer, so you can ask them, and I bet they have some in their bathroom, okay? All right, so on top of all this, we're gonna add our baby oil. And the baby oil, you can add as much as you want, maybe just to fill up, maybe halfway up the jar would be good, or vase, okay. And you'll be able to see it separate from the water. Can you see that? So the oil is clear with the glitter sitting there on top of the water, and then your water's blue. It's kind of fun, huh? Okay, now we're gonna try to make our snowstorm. So you just break off a couple pieces of your Alka Seltzer and drop it in and see what happens. Can you guys see it? Does it kind of look like a storm inside there? And if you want a lot, if you want a blizzard, you could add a lot of Alka Seltzer. And it'll make lots of bubbles all at one time. And you can do it over and over again until it stops bubbling. That's going to take a while though. Kind of stir it up a little bit and see what happens. Okay, that's the snowstorm in a jar. Project number 3, we're gonna do in 2 parts because we have to let this one dry in between steps, okay? So we are gonna make a magic foaming snowman. But to start, we just have to make our snowman body. And then that just has to dry for a little while. So I'll show you how to make the snowman body, and then I'll show you how to melt him when we're all done, okay? So what you need for this is baking soda and water. That's it. And we're gonna make a dough of baking soda. So we're just gonna dump some baking soda in our bowl here, like this. And then you just need a tiny bit of water to start with. You're just gonna mix it up, like this. You can see how it kind of gets clumpy as soon as you put the water in there. And you don't want it to be too wet because then it won't stick together. So you just add a tiny bit of water at a time. You could even take a spoon if you wanted to, and then just added 1 spoonful at a time, okay? And then once your baking soda starts to get wet and sticks together, like this, you can make it into little balls. See that? So there's my first one. And then we're gonna make another one. Maybe this one will make a little bit bigger. So maybe this could be my snowman's head. Just need a little bit more water here. Okay, can you see how this kind of gets sticky? Just so that it kind of, see that? Makes a nice baking soda dough right in your hand. And there's my second ball. And we'll make one more. So need a little bit more water. And if you add too much water, like I just did, look at this. See, that's too soupy and it won't stick together. You can always add a little bit more baking soda if you need to get it so it'll stick. All right. So once you get your 3 snowman balls made, those just need to dry for a little bit. So you can put those off to the side on a plate or something like this, and then you can just let them dry, and we'll come back to that, okay? All right, good job. Now we're gonna do a little bit of painting, okay? So if you have some white paint at home and some black and brown paper, that's pretty much all you need, other than a potato. Hopefully you have a potato. If you don't have a potato, you could maybe use an apple or something else that you could stamp with, like even a sponge, okay? All right, so we're gonna do a little winter owl painting. And to start off with, you just need some black paper, just like that. And then, do you see here on the painting, there's a little bit of a tree and a branch that comes out that the owls can sit on? So I'm just gonna take some scissors and I'm just gonna cut almost like a T shape. So you kind of go like this on this side, and you cut all the way down to make the branch that sticks out. And on the other side, you make the rest of your T, like this. See? It's a T, kind of a bumpy T. And that'll work for your tree and your branch, just like that. Okay, so we're gonna get out our glue stick and glue that onto our black paper. All right. I thought owls would be fun to do because I just had an owl fly right in front of my car as I was driving home the other night, and it was beautiful. Okay, so here we have our little tree on our black paper, okay? Now you need your potato, and this part you will need your parents' help with because you're gonna cut the potato so that you can use it to paint with, okay? So you just get a small potato about this size, it's not very big, and I'm gonna take him and I'm gonna cut him right in half. And this is gonna be your owl body, okay? Like this. It kind of looks like the shape of an owl a little bit, doesn't it? All right, and then we're gonna use our plate and we're gonna dump some white paint on there like this. Okay, there's your paint and your potato. So now you just wanna take your potato and just dip it very gently in the paint, and you can even take it on your plate and swirl it around a little bit to make sure the paint is all over the potato so we didn't miss any spots like this. See that? All right. And now you can decide where you want to put your owl. And you can put several owls if you want. I'm going to put one right here. He's just sitting on the little branch in the tree. Okay, and then lift up with the potato. And there is your paint. Should we do another one? All right, we're going to try it again. Ready? This guy's going to be sitting down here a little bit further. And you just put the potato right on there, kind of squish it down, and then lift it up, and you have another owl shape. Okay, so we're gonna let that dry for just a little bit, and then we're gonna add on the wings and the facial features, okay? But in the meantime, you can take a little paintbrush, and you can make little snowflakes all over your paper, like it's snowing outside. And then once your owls are dry, you'll be able to add the rest. Okay, if you wanted to, if it didn't get enough on there, you could even add a little bit more white paint onto your owl to make sure he's fluffy white. Maybe I'll even try to print that one a little bit more. Just get him really white. White snowy owl. There we go. All right. Okay, so we're gonna let that one dry and we'll come back to it. All right. Okay, as our snowman has been drying, I was decorating him a little bit. So I just took a couple of beads and put in some eyes and then another bead for his nose, and then Miss Nora went out and got me some little sticks outside, and we could put little sticks on his body there. And then I thought, you know, he's got to have a hat because he's a snowman. So I just took a little black circle like this, just made it out of paper. And then I took a piece of black strip of paper like this, and I just rolled it up and glued it to make one of these. And then we're just gonna glue these two things together to make the snowman's hat. Okay. Kind of looks like Frosty the Snowman's hat. A little top hat. We'll just put that right on his head. Just like that. Okay, so now you need to go get some vinegar. Just like this, just white vinegar. And this also you should have in your kitchen. And you can use a squirt bottle, or you could use a spoon if you wanted, or maybe even just like a little bit of a cup, a tiny cup that can pour. And we're gonna watch our snowman melt, okay? So to make him melt, all you're gonna do is just start squirting a tiny bit of vinegar around him like this. Can you see him melting? Oh, his hat's falling off. I knocked it right off his head. Okay. Kind of melt him around the bottom first. Can you see it bubbling? And we'll bubble his head a little bit. All right, here he goes. It's gonna start melting more and more. There goes an arm. Almost like on a cold day that turns warm and sunny, and the snowman melts. And the fun thing about this project is you can make more snowmen with more baking soda and water and decorate them however you want, and then just melt away. There he is. He's all melted. Okay, so the owls have been drying for a little bit, and mine aren't quite dry yet. You can still see they're a little bit wet, so we just have to be careful when we add our final touches here. But the snowflakes are all dry, which is kind of fun. So the first thing I want to do is I want to paint their wings on. Okay, so you just want to take your paint brush and you're just going to kind of go like this and make little circles here for their wings. There's one here, like that. And you can kind of make them fluffy, like feathers if you want, kind of like that. We'll do one on this side. Little feathered wings. There. We'll make one for the other guy too. There we go. And the paint does seem to get a little bit whiter as it dries, so that's nice too. It's kind of fun to paint like that. You don't have to worry about messing up. It looks pretty no matter what you do. Okay, then we need to give our owl some eyes and little beaks, okay? So I have some googly eyes. You might have some googly eyes at home, or you could even use little black stickers, or if you wanted to just draw the eyes on when it's dry, you could do that. But I'm gonna use googly eyes. I'm gonna put the glue on the back of that, and then just stick it right to my paper, like this. Okay, like that. And then we'll make them a little beak, and I just have some yellow paper. We can just cut a little triangle out of the yellow paper to make them a little beak. We'll put a tiny bit of glue on the back of that too. And there is the finished owl. Thanks so much for being with me today and doing all these projects with me. I hope you guys have fun, and we'll link everything to the bottom, so if you have any questions on the directions or the materials that we use, that'll be on the webpage too, okay? All right,